Always trust.
We ask the questions.
What is needed in the world?
It is a human responsibility that we Bosnians carry more than anyone else to actually recognize it and call it for what it is. It is a genocide of people being committed for very concrete reasons.
Taking center stage today is Refik Hodžić, a strategic communication specialist from Bosnia and Herzegovina. For more than 20 years, Hodžić has sought justice for war crimes as a filmmaker, journalist, and expert in public information and advocacy. Hodžić talks about his personal experiences during the Bosnian War, describes the anatomy of a genocide, and reflects on the lessons that can be applied to help end the war in Gaza. Refik Hodžić, welcome to center stage.
Thank you.
What does it mean to be here today, 30 years almost later, with an international acknowledgement of the genocide in Srebrenica?
I strongly believe that if we do not use the knowledge, different truths that we were able to establish about why genocides happen, how do they happen, what are the mechanics of genocide, and share that in the effort to prevent genocides happening elsewhere, then it becomes only our very limited value to ourselves only. And I believe that this is exactly something that runs against the whole idea that Raphael Lemkin had when he advocated for the crime of genocide to be established in the international law. In this respect, we were very lucky to have been subject, if you want, of international law in the way that we were with the establishment of the first War Crimes Court after the Second World War, which looked into what crimes were committed against Bosnians. It established beyond reasonable doubt the facts about different crimes, crimes in my hometown of Prijedor, crimes here in Sarajevo. And this knowledge is what, in fact, helped me personally to be able to raise my voice against what was going on in Gaza and calling it for what it is, genocide, very early on. Because it was clear, to a Bosnian, it was very clear that if we look at what components of genocide are in terms of the crimes that are being committed and the intent to destroy a group in whole or in part, that all the elements were there. In the international law circuit, experts that I have worked with for years and decades refrained from calling it what it is, but not because they did not recognize all the elements, but rather for different political reasons that we are all aware of. I believe that they may have that luxury, however damning that luxury is. It is a human responsibility that we Bosnians carry more than anyone else to actually recognize it and call it for what it is. It is a genocide of people being committed for very concrete reasons. It is not something abstract. It is not something that we need to mystify. The Israeli leadership that is committing this genocide has a very clear goal of destroying Palestinians in the current form, populating not only Gaza but West Bank. This intent is stated. It is not being even hidden from the top to the soldiers who are who are committing this genocide, who are celebrating this genocide, who are triumphantly showing, children's toys that they are throwing around of the children that they killed in the celebration of these crimes. No one in their right mind, no one can find an argument to say that this is not so. It is only if they choose to stay silent or to gaslight us. Let's not call it relativization. They're basically gaslighting us into not believing our own eyes, not believing the people who are victims of these crimes, but to believe some sort of artificial narrative that has no basis in reality.
Yourself, having worked on transitional justice in several parts of the world, based from your responsibility for what you just said, that you took this responsibility of actually taking this example of Bosnia and trying to get this justice around the world. Do you see prospects of justice for Palestinians?
Oh, I don't want to lie to my Palestinian sisters and brothers. I don't. We can see this very clearly in the fact that while Benjamin Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant and hopefully others are being sought for arrest by the International Criminal Court, they are at the same time being welcomed in the White House, they are being welcomed at the Capitol Hill. We don't have the leaders in the West who are prepared to actually apply the same standards that they want to see for other countries, that they want to see for Russia, that they want to see for, in the end, Bosnia. So the message that they are sending is that the international law framework is something that applies only to the weak, to those who don't have the might to actually disregard it. I wish I could say that I believe that one day this will not be so. It would be very easy for me to say, yes, I believe in justice. I believe that one day we will see all these people facing justice. But I have to say that we Bosnians, we were lucky. We were lucky to live in a window of international geopolitics with the international community unwilling to do the right thing, and that is militarily intervene to stop genocide. But instead they opted to establish a war crimes court. To be honest, they did not intend for this court to ever succeed. But the people who actually worked for this court, the judges, the prosecutors, made it happen. So we saw everyone, all the people who were responsible for, at the highest level, for the Bosnian genocide in court. Are we going to ever see that for Israel? I wish I could believe that to be the case, but I don't.
Can we have hope in the future generation to actually achieve this peace or this justice, to be honest? Because we're seeing now the leaders are in one direction, but you have those amazing students around universities, you have mass protests in the streets, you have a lot of people vocal online, raising awareness, speaking up, seeing the truth, re-educating themselves. Will it maybe change in the future when these young generation take power?
They're my only hope. To be very honest with you, they're my only hope. The young people, especially the young people in the West, who are learning on their own, rejecting the propaganda that they are being fed, and acting against it. They give me hope, but this action has to last. This action has to be strong. This action cannot be a matter of popular trends. Yesterday, Israel bombed a school in Khan Yunis, killing more than 30 people. In the same way that happened in Bosnia, in Sarajevo, in Srebrenica, while children were playing football. This happened yesterday. We are already losing our capacity to follow the news from Gaza.
I want to remain hopeful because I have, and us sitting in this room, have the luxury to remain hopeful, whereas people in Gaza under bombs, they might not have this luxury, and yet they inspire us a lot by remaining hopeful. What should be done to actually turn this trend into awareness, conscience that will last until this young generation, who is your only hope, takes power and actually takes a good stand and change the world?
We have to act where we live. We can't be having illusions about changing the politics or policies of the United States or Israel or UK or EU from, you know, my house in Prijedor. But what I can do is talk to my family, talk to my friends, use every platform that you have. And this is why, again, from this place, I call on Bosnians, Bosnians from academy, Bosnians from politics, Bosnians who have a platform to speak on this. I have to say, I'm afraid we have not done justice to our Palestinian sisters and brothers. We would like to think that we have. We haven't. We have a responsibility to speak more, to speak everywhere, especially as we mark our own tragedy, because otherwise our own tragedy becomes relevant only to us. And I think this is something that we have to do. But as I said, start at home and build. Not everyone has the same platform. Not everyone can speak to the media. Not everyone can speak to the masses. But you can speak to your children. You can speak to your friends and make them aware. Why is it that we have to speak about this as it's going on?
When we talk about justice, there are different opinions about it. Some say that you cannot have peace if you want justice. You have to choose. Others say you cannot have peace without justice, and you cannot have justice without peace. From your long years of activism in this in transitional justice, is it peace or justice?
It's a false dilemma. There is no sustainable peace without justice. That is empirically proven. That is not simply now something that I'm telling you. Yes, of course, you have to sequence. Of course, you have to look for immediate solutions to stop the killing, to stop the suffering of innocent people. And for that, you need mediation, you need some sort of incentive for peace on both sides. But sustainable peace is simply impossible without justice, without the crimes that cannot be brushed under the carpet. These crimes that are being committed in Gaza today, they're changing the world for decades to come. We may think that this is only concerning people who live in Gaza Strip. This is changing the way that relationships are going to be unfolding between people, between states, and without justice for this, as I said, I am unfortunately not such an optimist. Unless the young generation really changes something in the countries that are, in fact, creating the world order. Because the current leaders, the current power brokers, the current people who hold all the power, they're not only not going to produce this change, they're complicit in these crimes.
Whether it's peace or justice or both, even when you have both, it doesn't mean you got healing. Do populations heal from genocide?
I don't know if they heal from genocide. I know that, for instance, you know, we Bosnians, we are resilient. I just take my hometown. We suffered horrendous crimes. We were the face of genocide with the concentration camps in Omarska and Karaterim. Our small little town became notorious in the world overnight. But we lived there. We came back. We are raising children there. In that respect, genocide did not succeed. Whether it will over the long term, it remains to be seen, but it is clear it's up to us. It's not up to the perpetrators. It is up to us if this will be allowed to happen. Do we heal? You have to ask that to every survivor, you know, everyone who lost someone. Is it possible to heal? But are we resilient? Yes, we are.
Thank you very much, Refik Hodžić.
Thank you.